How to start a construction estimating business. So have you ever thought about what it would be like to be an entrepreneur, work on your own, not have a boss over your shoulder? Well, becoming a construction estimator is one way that you can make that happen. So in this episode, I'm going to lead you through some of the strategies necessary in order for you to build your own construction estimating business. What is the secret to attracting high-paying clients for your estimating business? What kind of marketing and sales needs to be done in order for you to be able to grab the right client? We're going to go through some of the strategies necessary in order for you to understand how to make those big bucks as a construction estimator. Becoming a construction estimator all starts with knowing and understanding how to run a business. So, do you need a lot of money to be able to start? What kind of structure should your business have? All of these will be questions that you want to ask yourself before going out on your own to become a construction estimator. And because you're a construction estimator, identifying all of the budgets and feasibility of this venture should be easy to do. But I'm going to go ahead and work you through some steps through this episode of what you can do in order to be able to build a successful construction estimating business. The first thing you're going to want to do is check the market. I know that I receive a lot of emails asking for opportunities to be able to bid projects. Now, I would say that the majority of these individuals are not even using terminology that seems relative to the type of construction estimating that I would expect them to be able to do. And this is unfortunate, because there's individuals who believe that it's simply a set of drawings that you run an electronic pencil over in order to be able to come up with the calculations and cost of a project. So this is where you're going to be able to stand out from the rest. Your practical construction knowledge and experience isn't just doing simple calculation. It's identifying the means and methods and what it is that you do specifically to provide effectiveness and productivity to your project that's going to save time, save money, and be able to have a higher profit. Now, nothing helps a construction manager like reputation. The more clients that you get, the more opportunities that you have for building a reputation of winning estimates. And that only happens by you choosing the right clients. You can't do an estimate for everyone just to be putting out an estimate. It is not a numbers game at this point. You want to be able to put out high quality estimates, which means that you're going to be more selective in the choice of the clients that you work for. So work in areas where you do have practical experience. If you're a carpenter and framing is your forte, then start with bidding framing projects. Don't start with a kitchen remodel. Don't start with a concrete slab. Stick with things that you're comfortable and familiar with, and then decide how you're going to build your destination map and choose how you're going to elevate your construction estimating business from there. So we can't do everything all at one time, but we can do one thing really good. Let's focus on what it is that you have practical experience in that's going to be able to separate you from the rest. We've got a few other videos that talk about estimating, and they're going to go into a deeper explanation of the types of softwares that might be necessary when you're going down this road. But what I will tell you is that organization and management is going to be key in you being able to have satisfactory work for your clients, and using a construction software is going to help you be able to do that. So focus on the software that is going to be the easiest for you to use and checks off the most boxes of your checklist. When you're creating an estimate, you want to make sure that you have a flow. So building an estimating company is going to put in place templates that you're going to use that kind of allow you to shortcut the process when you're bidding all of work that is similar in type and kind. So when you're doing a framing takeoff, you may develop a template that's easy to use and to be able to implement when you're doing framing estimates for other companies. This is going to shorten the amount of work that you have to spend. This is also going to introduce consistency and help you save time when creating your estimate. No matter how good you are at putting an estimate together, for your estimating business, it's going to be about your little black book. So your clientele is going to not only be the individual calling you, asking you for an estimate, it's going to be all of the contacts that you can gain from that one interaction. So you're constantly going to have to be selling yourself, asking them, so thank you for letting me do this estimate, but do you have any friends? Do you have any subcontractors who might need some estimation services? I'm open to being able to serve a number of different contractors. And so constantly be putting yourself out there and using everyone in your contact list as a potential opportunity to an estimate. With any good business, we're going to make sure that we have a business plan. I like to do a business plan by determining exactly how much money do I have up front while I'm creating and building this business. Am I going to be working full time while I'm creating this business off to the side so that at some point I can then step right into this business? Or do I have some money saved up and I'm going to just go 2 feet first and jump straight in? This is going to be a really hard decision, especially if you already have bills and family obligations that are keeping you working that full-time job because you're obligated to the bills and monthly expenses that you have. But it's all about planning and developing a plan that allows you to be able to prepare so that you can make this move. But remember, when you're working hard, 8-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour days, and then you have to come home and do estimates, your mind has to be clear and ready to be able to do accurate, detailed estimates that your client is really going to appreciate. And so there's going to have to be a balance that you're going to find when working on developing your estimating business, but I'm positive that it's one that you are 100% capable of. There's a lot of times when we start a business and we have big dreams of what we think that business will look like. And so when you're looking at becoming an estimator and having an estimation business, I would just ask you to understand that having a contingency plan in place is really important. And so as an estimator, you do have to have that skill of scheduling. And so there may be an opportunity for you to expand your services by being able to also offer scheduling services. Being able to offer more services is going to make you more valuable to your clients, and being able to show them how you do those services in combination is going to make it work even better for you. Because once they hire you for one thing and then recognize that the collaboration of estimating, scheduling, project feasibility, project budget management, risk management, and how all of those correlate and align with each other, then they're going to ask you to provide more services, which is only going to enhance the opportunity for your construction estimation business. The last thing that we're going to talk about today is the one that scares everyone the most. When we're doing the work ourselves and we control absolutely everything that we can about the estimate that goes out to our client, we can feel comfortable and know that the very best job was put forth. But when we have to hire someone else to do what we've promised to do for someone, then that's when it really changes the game. In order to be able to scale your estimation business, there is going to become a point in time when you're going to want to hire other individuals. I always want to do everything that I can to see people in-house be offered the tools necessary for education in order for them to be able to rise above internally first before you start looking for outside employees. There's a lot of reasons to this. First and foremost, they already know your company. They know how it works. They know how you like things. They know how they are going to be able to move up the ladder. They are understanding of how you want things delivered and of your expectations of the product that they produce. By working in-house this way, we're also able to identify the specific skill sets that are stronger in individuals and be able to align them with job duties that exemplify those skill sets. This gives us time to be able to work on the other areas that we're going to need them to have in order to be able to move them into the production of estimates. So when you're looking at scaling your business, know and understand it's going to take other people and you're going to have to make that jump. But when you do, make sure that you have the time to oversee and train these individuals the way that you want them trained, and that you're able to review their estimates before they go out. You're able to put the final quality control on your product before it reaches the hands of the owner. So are you ready to turn your expertise into a flourishing estimating business? Well, I would love to be able to help you do that through the mentorship of Construction Management Essentials. So on our website, Construction Management Online, you're going to find our 12-week program in providing comprehensive information of how to read drawings, understand drawings, create estimates, and be able to understand the policies, procedures, systems, and methodologies necessary for managing successful construction projects. You're going to be able to use this in understanding what it's going to take in order for you to build the most successful construction estimating business possible.